January 18th of this year, when more than 350 students arrived on the Davidson College campus as teams from 64 high schools began competition to become the 1992 High-Q champion. WTVI, Charlotte-Mecklenburg's public television station, in cooperation with Davidson College and IBM, proudly presents High-Q, the annual battle of the minds. This year's High-Q winning team and the first runner-up will receive for their schools an IBM Personal System 2 Model 8530 computer with a printer and software donated by IBM. Again this year, the winning team will be given the handsome High-Q trophy, which they can proudly display in their school's trophy case. Today's quarterfinal match features Freedom High School against St. Stephen's High School. And now, here's your host, Mike McKay.
Welcome. Good to have you with us on High-Q. It's going to be an exciting time. We know that because we have two very strong teams. And this, if you've been following the matches in the previous 3 weeks, and we certainly hope you have, you'll know this is the final quarterfinal match. The final of the 4 semifinalists will be determined this time around. And as I said, the teams are very strong indeed. Let's begin with the folks who are the defending champions. High-Q winner from last year, back again in the competition. This is the team from Freedom. Let's meet them now.
Jason Orders, senior. Jeremy Lamano, senior. Kevin McSwain, senior. Jason Deaton, senior.
Gentlemen, good to have you back. And congratulations on getting this far. Good luck in the competition. Part of the reason that Freedom is so good is because they have a good coaching staff, and they certainly do help. I want you to meet the coaches now, John Whittemore and Linda Wall. Would you please join us? Yeah, good to see you both, and good to have you back again.
Thanks. We're glad to be back, and I inherited a good team, and I'd like to thank Davidson College and WTVI and IBM for letting us get this far.
Okay, and if you would introduce your alternates, please.
Okay. Yeah. Matt Smith, sophomore, and Cindy Barlow, senior.
Okay, good to have you all here. Good luck in the match. We'll just head back that way. And as I said, the match is going to be a very strong one because we have a second very strong team, too. Let's meet them now from St. Stephen's.
Warren Neves, senior.
Sonia Meunier, senior.
George Barger, senior. Robbie Barton, junior.
Good to have all of you here, and good luck in the competition. I know you're going to be a very formidable set of opponents for the Freedom guys today. I want you to meet the coach from St. Stephen's who helped prepare this team for this big day, Lynette Carson. Hi, welcome, and good to see you here.
Good to be here. We're glad to be here again this year, and we are proud of our team and the other teams as well, and we hope that everyone has a good time, and we're anxious to win the computer.
Okay, well, good luck with that, and would you please introduce your alternate?
Andrew Dellinger.
Okay, good to have you both here, and good luck to your team. Going to be an exciting competition. I think there's no doubt about that. We'll get to it in just a bit, but first of all, a pause from this word from IBM.
Education. It affects all of us.
Sure, it's important to the economy.
I'm going to end up hiring one of these children.
You need an education to get through life, period.
I remember trying so hard to listen to what everybody was telling me, and I wanted to do it right. I really did.
So many kids get lost.
You have to ask yourself, how much are our children worth to us?
Right now, IBM is working with school systems across America. We're donating equipment. IBM's people are volunteering their time to tutor students. And above all, we're creating new ways for computers to help teachers teach and better prepare young people for the world they're about to inherit.
The kids need to hear that we care about them.
Well, you know, I say, how was school? Did you have fun at school today? She says, oh, yeah.
I love the ocean, and I want to especially study dolphins.
I'm not without hope.
And we're very happy and grateful for IBM, Davidson College, and WTVI's participation each year in High-Q. It's an exciting event here in our region, and good to be part of it. I want to run down the rules quickly. If by chance you're tuning in for the first time or haven't seen a High-Q match in a while, these rules may help you as a viewer. Teams, I know you know them by heart, but I'm going to run them down quickly anyway. There are 2 types of questions we will use in the match today, toss-ups and bonuses. On toss-up questions, you work individually, you may not consult with one another, and you have to wait to be recognized before answering. You also must answer within 3 seconds after being recognized. If you're correct, you win for your team the right to answer a bonus question. If you're incorrect and have interrupted the question as I'm asking it, there's a 5-point penalty. There's no penalty if I have finished reading, as you know so well. If you're incorrect, the other team gets a chance to answer, and I'll finish reading the question if it has been interrupted. On bonus questions, you work as a team. I would advise you to consult if it seems appropriate, and I know you'll be able to determine if indeed it is. You'll have 5 seconds to begin your answer to each part of a bonus question. I will warn you before calling time. Now, if a half ends while I am reading a question, bam, we stop right at that point. If one of the students is answering a question, the person may complete that one answer only. Judge's decision will be final today, and we'll meet the judge in a second, but I want to introduce someone else before. Gentlemen, you've already heard the announcer for today's broadcast, who is Arjun Srinivasan. Good to see you, Arjun. Now, the judge and the gentleman who has done so much of a big part in terms of organizing and getting this competition together this year. From Davidson College, Professor Bob Manning. Bob, good to see you. Our scorer is going to be busy today. He is Mr. Chris Torres. And next to him, last but hardly least, very busy, running clock and scoreboard, Mr. Greg Fisher. How about a hand for all 4 of these gentlemen? All right, you have met the requisite individuals, and we're all set to go. Teams, good luck to both of you. We're ready to begin the first half right now. Playing for a 20-point bonus, here's your first toss-up. In 1776, George Washington wrote to this president of the Continental Congress to allow enlistment.
Freedom McSwain.
John Hancock.
John Hancock, allow enlistment of free black soldiers. 20-point bonus. Those in the habit of collecting paper money are often called rich. Those in the habit of collecting and or studying coins are known by another name. For 20 points, what 4-syllable word?
A numismatist.
That's it. You got it. Okay, teams playing for a 30-point bonus this time. Pearl Buck, Rachel Carson, Gertrude Stein, Margaret Mead, and Mary Queen of Scots will soon be honored by impact craters named for them for 10 points. On what planet? The only one named for a woman.
Freedom McSwain.
Mercury.
No, that is incorrect. St. Stephen's?
St. Stephen's, Barton.
Venus.
Venus, that's correct. Okay, it's a 30-point bonus, St. Stephen's. Identify this movie after 1 clue for 30 points, after 2 for 20, or after 3 for 10. Number 1, it is set on the dark and stormy night of August 8th, 1974, the day Nixon announced his resignation.
All the President's Men.
No, that's incorrect, but here's a second clue. You can get 20 for this. His resignation speech was playing on Brad and Janet's car radio when their left rear tire blew out.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's it. Got 20 points. Okay, teams playing for a 20-point bonus this time. She was 2,000 years old in 1965 and totally devoted to pleasing astronaut Tony Nelson, who released her from her bottle.
Freedom McSwain.
Genie.
Genie. That's right. I Dream of Genie. 20-point bonus. The Russia House, a small town in Germany. The Little Drummer Girl and The Honorable Schoolboy are all best-selling spy novels written by the same author. For 20 points, name him.
John Le Carre.
That's right. John Le Carre is the way it's, I think, pronounced by him. 20-point bonus. Here is your toss-up we're trying this time. In 1930, Los Angeles banned public meetings and Topeka closed all schools. In 1935, all of Annapolis was quarantined, all because of epidemics, for 10 points, of what disease finally conquered by research funded by the March of Dimes?
Freedom McSwain.
Polio.
Polio. That's correct. Okay, Freedom, it's a 20-point bonus. For many baseball fans, the Ultimate World Series would be a replay of the 1918 series. For 10 points apiece, name the 2 clubs involved in that series, neither of which has won a world championship since.
Cubs and the Red Sox.
That's it. You got it. Okay, playing for a 20-point bonus again. Here's your toss-up teams. Hispaniola, Sardinia, Sicily, or Corsica. For 10 points.
Freedom McSwain.
Hispaniola.
Hispaniola, which one is not in the Mediterranean Sea? That's correct. 20-point bonus. By a vote of 12 to 11, the Philippine Senate in 1991 refused to renew the U.S. lease on the last American military base in that country. For 20 points, name this giant naval base. Okay, need an answer.
Smith.
Subic, S-U-B-I-C, Subic Bay Naval Base. Okay, playing for a 20-point bonus this time. He did the poster art for Teddy's Perspiration Powder, but gave up his projected art career after World War I. For 10 points, name this failed artist who committed suicide on April 30th, 1945 in a bunker beneath...
Freedom McSwain.
Adolf Hitler.
Adolf Hitler, a bunker beneath Berlin. 20-point bonus. Legally speaking, for 10 points apiece, identify these types of evidence. Number 1, Evidence implied from things already known and not based on first-hand knowledge.
Circumstantial.
That's correct. And number 2, additional evidence that backs up proof already presented.
Auxiliary.
Corroborating, we were looking for. So you got 10 out of the 20. Okay, teams, 20-point bonus this time. 61 million Americans suffer from it. 90% of these cases seem to have no real cause, although arterial pressure against the medulla may be at fault. For 10 points...
Freedom, orders.
Headache.
No, that is incorrect. I'll repeat it for you. Arterial pressure against the medulla, whichever you prefer, may be at fault. For 10 points, name this symptomless condition leading to heart attacks and strokes.
St. Stephen, Spartan.
Hypertension.
Hypertension, that's right. High or elevated blood pressure. 20-point bonus, St. Stephen's. A former champion race car driver, he started World War I as General Pershing's personal chauffeur. He apparently missed the speed, danger, and excitement because he soon took up flying, becoming America's top ace. For 20 points, name him.
Rickenbacker.
That's right, Eddie Rickenbacker. Okay, it's a 25-point bonus this time, teams. Been around for a long time, but only became a hit single after Whitney Houston recorded her version of it.
St. Stephen, Spartan.
Star Spangled Banner.
That's it, Star Spangled Banner. That's what we're looking for. 25-point bonus. This important molecule has a unique triple helix structure and constitutes fully 1/3 of the protein in the human body. For 25 points, name this major protein of tendons, cartilage, and other tissues that some actresses have injected to increase the size of their lips.
Collagen.
Collagen is correct. Okay, teams, playing for a 20-point bonus this time. Mandalay and Danny Deever are 2 poems from this author's Barrack Room Ballads and Other Verses. Excuse me. Its more famous poems are Fuzzy Wuzzy and Gunga Din. For 10 points...
Freedom, McSwain.
Rudyard Kipling.
Rudyard Kipling, that's right. Barrack Room Ballads and Other Verses. 20-point bonus. It is 39 feet long, 33 feet wide, and 49 feet high. Has enormous brass doors and is mostly covered by a richly embroidered black brocade. For 20 points, name this sacred Muslim shrine attributed to Ibrahim and Ishmael.
The Kaaba.
That's right. Kaaba is correct. Another 20-point bonus. He would never be mistaken for Mike Ditka or Art Shell, but this Phi Beta Kappa holder of a Harvard M.A. in English history did take his team to the 1991
Freedom, McSwain.
Marv Levy.
Marv Levy, 1991 Super Bowl. Okay, pencil and paper ready, Freedom. Computer bits, bytes, and kilobytes are counted in the binary rather than the decimal system. For 20 points, exactly how many bits are in 1 kilobyte?
1,000.
No, it is 8,192. 8 bits in a byte, 1,024 bytes in a kilobyte. 8,192. Okay, 20-point bonus again, teams. Here is your toss-up. If a doe gives birth to a leveret, and then both are, for 10 points, what type of long-eared mammal?
Freedom, McSwain.
Rabbit.
Rabbit. That's right, a hare. Rabbit or bunny. 20-point bonus. In the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, professional players will, for the first time, be allowed on the U.S. Olympic basketball team. Team USA has therefore chosen as its coach, for 10 points apiece, what NBA coach of what last NBA team to win consecutive NBA titles?
Chuck Daly of the Detroit Pistons.
You got them both. Okay, 30-point bonus this time. Charles the Fair and Philip the Fair of France and Ivan the Terrible of Russia shared the same royal number.
St. Stephen's, Neves.
5th.
No.
5th.
No, actually it was the 4th. But that is the whistle sounding the end of the first half, and we got some distance in between, but still a very competitive match with Freedom with 185 points and St. Stephen's with 90 at this point. If you have watched these matches before, you know very well how things can change in the second half, so I'm certain it's going to get even tighter than it is now. I want to take just a few seconds to have the players introduce themselves and tell you just a bit about themselves. I'll start with you, Jason. I did notice as you were introducing yourselves, all of you members of the team are seniors this time around, so if you would please, for the sake of the viewers, tell us a little bit about what your college plans may be, what you might major in.
I've applied to University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, Duke, and Davidson. and I'll probably go to the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill and hope to maybe major in pharmacy.
Yeah, okay. Well, I know you'll do well, whatever it winds up being, both institution and major. Jeremy, how about you?
I'll be attending Wake Forest to study radio, TV, and film.
Ah, no kidding. Toward being a filmmaker?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, good luck with it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know you well enough to make that assumption. That's why I asked. Kevin, how about you?
I've got it narrowed down to either UNC Greensboro, North Carolina State, or Wake Forest to either be a teacher or radio, TV, or film.
Yeah, okay. Well, good luck to you, too. Whichever school and whichever program gets you, we'll be quite fortunate. And Jason, how about your plans?
I hope to attend either Davidson or Wofford and major in engineering or physics.
Okay, well, good luck. I know Professor Manning, who is from Davidson, listens with it, and especially a cute ear when he hears that someone is thinking of maybe going to that school. And St. Stephen's, you have a most impressive team, too, as we've seen already. Let me ask the same of you. And Warren, I'd like to begin with you.
Yes, I'm a senior, and I'll attend North Carolina State University to major in chemical engineering.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a very fine school. I'll be lucky to get you. Sonia?
I'll also be attending North Carolina State University and studying engineering.
Ah. Did you guys make these plans together? No, I doubt it. But you'll do well. George?
I plan to attend the University of North Carolina at Wilmington and study marine biology.
Oh, that's really exciting. They have one of the best programs in the country, I understand.
I think they're 8th in the country.
Are they really?
Right now.
Yeah. Well, that'll be an exciting field of study for you, I'm sure. Good luck in that. And Robbie, I know you have one more year before you have to finalize them, but what are your plans at this point?
I plan to either attend Virginia Tech or North Carolina State and major in mechanical engineering.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck as you get toward that final year and the final decision making. As you can see, they're most impressive young men and women, and as we can tell just from the competition, and obviously their teachers and parents and family members know they're going to have wonderful futures ahead of them. We have another second half ahead of us right now. It's going to be very competitive, I'm sure. Reminder once again, if I'm in the midst of asking a question, when the final whistle sounds, we stop right then. If one of the students is answering a question, the person may complete that one answer only. Ready for the second half? Let's hear that whistle and start. Good luck, teams. Here we go. Playing for a 30-point bonus. Here is your toss-up. Before 1924, it was called Computing Tabulating Recording Company, and it was in financial...
St. Stephen's, Barton.
IBM.
IBM, that's right. It was in financial trouble, but they changed considerably. 30-point bonus, St. Stephen's, for 15 points apiece. Give me the first names of these famous Smiths. Number 1, the Democrat who lost to Hoover in the 1928 presidential election. Okay, need an answer.
Paul.
No, it was, well, you got 2 of the letters right. It was Al. Alfred Smith. Number 2, the founder of the Mormon faith.
Joseph.
That's right. So you got 15 out of a possible 30. This is a 20-point bonus, teams. Here's your toss-up. He served as mentor to much of the current Bush administration, appointing Bush as CIA director, Brent Scowcroft as national security advisor, Dick Cheney as White House chief of staff, and Jim Baker as his campaign manager. For 10 points, name...
Freedom McSwain.
Richard Nixon?
No, that is incorrect. Can you take it? Can you name this man who appointed Bush as CIA director, Brent Scowcroft as national security advisor, Dick Cheney, White House chief of staff, and Jim Baker as his campaign manager?
St. Stephen's, Neves.
Ronald Reagan.
No, it's incorrect, too. It's Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford. Okay, still playing teams for that 20-point bonus here as your toss-up. His 22 rebounds and 17 points led the Eastern Division squad to a 106th.
St. Stephen's, Barton.
Michael Jordan.
No, that is incorrect. I'll finish it out for you, Freedom. 22 rebounds, 17 points led the Eastern Division squad to a 116-114 victory in the 91 NBA All-Star game. For 10 points, name this All-Star MVP forward from Philly.
Freedom McSwain.
Charles Barkley.
That's it, Charles Barkley. Okay, 20-point bonus now. In his 1974 autobiography, C.R. Milne declared that he wished his 2 given names were Charles Robert instead of, for 10 points apiece, what 2 names his father... This is a bonus. Yes, it's a bonus that Freedom's working on. What 2 names his father first gave him and then immortalized in a series of children's books.
Christopher Robin.
That's right, Christopher Robin. Okay, playing for a 20-point bonus, teams. Until the Reformation, the standard version of the Bible was a 4th century Latin translation.
Freedom McSwain.
Vulgate.
Vulgate is correct. 20-point bonus. If he had lived until the late 1970s, he would certainly have won a Nobel Prize for 2 papers published in 1939. The first predicting the existence of neutron stars, and the second predicting and describing black holes. For 20 points, who is this American scientist now best remembered as the head of the atom bomb project?
J. Robert Oppenheimer.
You got it. Okay, there's your 20 points. Got a 30-point bonus this time, teams. They are native to everywhere except Antarctica, Greenland, and Iceland, and include such unique species as weaver, driver, honeypot, and army.
Freedom, McSwain.
Ants.
Ants. You got it. 30-point bonus. These three contiguous states, with a combined area slightly smaller than North Carolina, have virtually no racial or ethnic minorities, with at least 98% of their populations being non-Hispanic whites. For 10 points apiece, name these three states.
Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Maryland. Massachusetts.
Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. You were in the right part of the country, at least. Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. Playing for 20-point bonus teams. In politics, it's one nation dominated by another. In astronomy, it's an object that revolves around a central body that exerts a gravitational force on it.
St. Stephen's Barton.
Satellite.
Satellite is correct. St. Stephen's, 20-point bonus. This school teacher was to have been the first ordinary citizen in space, but lost her life with the other astronauts in the Space Shuttle Challenger explosion. For 20 points, her name, please.
Kristen McCullough.
You got it. Got your 20 points. Play for another 20-point bonus. Her real-life father played a fictional FBI agent. She played a TV detective who created a fictional boss, Remington Steele. For 10 points, give me the last name of this father-daughter acting family.
St. Stephen's Barton.
Remick.
No, that is incorrect. Can you take it, Freedom? Last name of the father-daughter acting family.
Freedom, McSwain.
Fonda.
No, Zimbalist. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. was in the FBI. Stephanie Zimbalist was in Remington Steele. Still playing for that 20-point bonus, teams. Here's your toss-up. It includes Atka, Adak, Atu, and Unimak, and stretches from about 165 degrees.
Freedom, McSwain.
The Aleutes?
No, that is not correct. It has to be a little more specific. Stretches from 165 degrees west longitude to 174 degrees east longitude. For 10 points, name this long Alaskan island chain.
St. Stephen's Barton.
The Aleutians.
The Aleutians. We couldn't take it because Aleuts is the people that live in the Aleutians. Okay, 20-point bonus, St. Stephen's. In its 188 years of independence, it had only one democratically elected government, and that was overthrown after just 7 months in 1991. For 20 points, name this French-speaking Caribbean island.
Haiti.
That's correct. You got it. Okay, playing for another 20-point bonus. The Supreme Court of Hawaii recently ruled that the geothermal development of Kilauea volcano does not unduly interfere with the worship of the volcano goddess. For 10,
Freedom, McSwain.
Pele.
Pele, that's right. 20-point bonus. Madonna wasn't invited. Former Presidents Ford and Reagan were, but they didn't attend. More than 220 other guests did attend this woman's 8th wedding in October 1991 at the Neverland estate of the celebrity who formerly gave her away. For 10 points apiece, name her and this celebrity.
Elizabeth Taylor and H. Ross Perot.
Good guess. It was actually Michael Jackson that gave her away because it was his estate at which it was held. But Elizabeth Taylor's correct, so you got 10. Playing for another 20-point bonus, teams. According to James Fenimore Cooper, the Indians, Uncas, and Chingachgook were the last...
Freedom, McSwain.
Mohicans?
Mohicans. Yes, they were. 20 points. His first major novel, Midnight's Children, was set in India and banned in India. His second, Shame, was set in Pakistan and banned in Pakistan, while his third was set throughout the Islamic world and banned throughout that world. For 20 points, who is he?
Salman Rushdie.
That's right. Another 20-point bonus, teams. Their fins fetch $53 per pound in Asian markets, and now several of their species of fish are considered threatened with extinction, including the mako, the thresher, and...
St. Stephen's Barton.
Shark. Sharks is correct. Okay, 20-point bonus. When Winston Churchill made his famous Iron Curtain speech in 1946, 2 nations were included behind that curtain, which had escaped by the time of Sir Winston's death in 1965. For 10 points apiece, name these nations which escaped Soviet control or Soviet-controlled sectors in 1948 and 1955, respectively.
Yugoslavia and Albania.
You got 10 of them. Yugoslavia was correct. Austria was the other that we needed. It was Austria. Okay, got a 20-point bonus. A white cross on a blue field with a white fleur-de-lis, in which in each blue quadrant is now the...
St. Stephen's, Barger.
Quebec.
Quebec, that's right. What current part of Canada? 20-point bonus. Recent research has shown this vitamin and its chemical derivatives to be crucial in preventing and combating cancer. For 20 points, name this vitamin whose cancer-fighting forms include beta-carotene, isotretinoin, and retinoic acid.
Vitamin C?
No, it's vitamin A. Vitamin A, or retinol. Okay, another 20-point bonus, teams. No time for it because that's the final whistle and that's the end of our match. But it was a good one. Freedom the winner, 300 to 200 over St. Stephen's. Congratulations to Freedom for your victory. Congratulations to St. Stephen's for a very good match and doing a terrific job to get here. We'll be back to wrap up this version of High Q right after this from Davidson College. Next week, we begin the semifinal matches here on High Q for 1992, and our first pair of contestants will be Myers Park, from obviously the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system, versus East Lincoln from Lincoln County. So that's going to be a really tight match, you can just bet. We hope you will be here to watch. Again, there are 2 chances to see it here on WTVI, Friday night at 6 or Saturday morning at 10. Have a good week, and we'll see you next week for the first of the semifinals here on High Q. Bye-bye.
Provided by IBM in promotion and recognition of academic achievement. IBM, proud sponsor of High Q since 1986.
For life.
And they're going to need to be good this week, too, because they'll be playing the defending High Q champions, Freedom High School from Morganton. It's going to be fun. The Battle of the Minds, we want you on hand. There are 2 times, Friday at 6, Saturday morning at 10, here on WTVI, Channel 42. We'll see you.
Okay. Funding for High Q has been provided by IBM in promotion and recognition of academic achievement. IBM, proud sponsor of High Q since 1986.
It was January 18th of this year when more than 350 students arrived on the Davidson College campus as teams from 64 high schools began competition to become the 1992 High Q champion. WTVI, Charlotte-Mecklenburg's public television station, in cooperation with Davidson College and IBM, proudly presents High Q, the annual Battle of the Minds. This year's High Q winning team and the first runner-up will receive for their schools an IBM Personal System 2 Model 8530 computer with a printer and software donated by IBM. Again this year, the winning team will be given the handsome High Q trophy which they can proudly display in their school's trophy case. Today's semifinal match features Richmond High School against Freedom High School. And now, here's your host, Mike McKay.
Yes, high Q time again, the second of the semifinal matches. We're very happy you could spend time with us here on WTVI, and I can assure you, you're going to be happy you decided to do so, because we have two of the finest teams that are available in high Q competition. That seems to be the case year after year, and it certainly is this year, because we've seen them in quarterfinal action already. They were both very, very impressive. Don't know if you have had a chance to see some of the matches leading up to this particular week, but in general, it's been a very competitive and very tight quarterfinal and then semifinal series of competitions we've had. Well, 2 more weeks left. Champion will be crowned in just a short time here on WTVI. We need 2 teams. We've got 2 good ones, as I've indicated, so let's meet them right now. First of all, the team from Richmond.
Elizabeth Carter, senior.
Yandu Mo, junior.
Justin Jones, junior.
Jason Strickland, sophomore.
Good to have you back again, and much good luck in this semifinal match. I know you'll do well. You certainly have historically, and you will again today, I'm sure. And part of the reason is that the team is so well prepared. They have other good students in the school with whom to work, and a very good coach with whom to work, too. I'd like to bring out the coach, Michael Boyd, right now. Michael, join us if you would, please. And I think you have some alternates, too.
Yes, thank you, Mike. We have Chris Harvey, who is a junior, and Alan Yates, who is a senior.
And as always, it's a pleasure to have you back, and I know it means a lot to the school to have the team here.
Well, we were fortunate to make it through the weather today. We'd hoped you could give us a little bit better weather. Freedom is the creme de la creme of teams in North Carolina, and we're just happy to be on the same podium with them, and hopefully we can do well today.
Well, good to have you here, and good luck to all of you. And in order to have competition, need another team. They've already been alluded to, and indeed they are quite good. Let's meet the gentleman from Freedom.
Jason Deaton, senior. Jeremy Lamano, senior.
Kevin McSwain, senior.
Jason Orders, senior.
Good to have you back again. Much good luck to you too, gentlemen. And let's welcome now the coaches from Freedom, who are John Whittemore and Linda Wall. Thanks for joining us again. I know it hasn't been that many weeks since you were here last. Good to have you back.
Glad to be back, Mike. I'd like to introduce the rest of our team. We have Cindy Barlow and Matt Smith.
Good to see you both.
We're glad to be back, and we hope to bring back the trophy and a new IBM computer back to Freedom with us.
Okay, well, much good luck, and good to see you again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It is going to be a really exciting match. There's no doubt that when you have teams as good as this, it can't be anything but. And we will confirm that with the beginning of the competition in just a few moments. Going to pause now for this word from IBM.
Education. It affects all of us.
Sure, it's important to the economy.
You're going to end up hiring one of these children.
You need an education to get through life, period. I remember trying so hard to listen to what everybody was telling me, and I wanted to do it right. I really did. So many kids get lost.
You have to ask yourself, how much are our children worth to us?
Right now, IBM is working with school systems across America. We're donating equipment. IBM's people are volunteering their time to tutor students. And above all, we're creating new ways for computers to help teachers teach and better prepare young people for the world they're about to inherit.
The kids need to hear that we care about them.
Well, you know, I say, how was school? Did you have fun at school today? She says, oh, yeah.
I love the ocean, and I want to especially study dolphins.
I'm not without hope.
That IBM message is a perfectly chosen one for High Q, because when we see students as impressive as the ones we will see in competition here today, that certainly gives hope to all of us, too, who are parents or simply members of this society. Well, we're glad you're with us. I'm going to run down the rules quickly. If by chance you're a new viewer who hasn't seen some earlier matches or could stand a rebuffing of the rules in your memory banks, teams, you know, I'm going to run them down quickly. 2 types of questions will be used in the competition, toss-ups and bonuses. On toss-up questions, you work individually. You may not consult with one another. You must wait to be recognized before answering, but must answer within 3 seconds after being recognized. If you're correct, you win for your team the right to answer a bonus question. If you're incorrect and have interrupted the question, there's a 5-point penalty. There is no penalty, of course, if I have finished reading. If you're incorrect, the other team gets a chance to answer, and I will finish reading the question if it has been interrupted. On bonus questions, you work as a team. You may and should consult with each other. You have 5 seconds to begin your answer to each part of a bonus question. I will warn you before calling time. If a half ends while I am reading a question, we stop right at that point. If a student is answering a question, then the person may complete that one answer only, and the judge's decision will be final today. Well, we have a fine judge and some other good people who are working with us, too. I'd like for you to meet them. First of all, gentleman whose voice you heard at the beginning of the program, our announcer, who is Arjun Srinivasan. Good to see you. The gentleman who is the judge and guy's really been kind of heading up IQ throughout this year, Professor Bob Manning from Davidson College. Good to see you. Our timer today is Bill Pomeroy, and our scorer is Mr. Greg Fisher, and they, too, are going to be very busy. How about a hand for all these gentlemen? Well, the pressure is on them and on the competitors, and you and I simply get to sit back and enjoy, so let's do that right now. We're ready to begin IQ, this semifinal match. Playing for 20-point bonus teams, toss-up is this. He was an early example of upward mobility. He was our first Secretary of State.
Freedom McSwain.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. Yep. 20-point bonus. Leonard Whiting, Olivia Hussey, and Mel Gibson have played the title roles in these two Franco Zeffirelli films, which prove that Shakespeare is not boring. For 10 points apiece, name these films.
Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet.
Got them both. 25-point bonus teams. It first came out of the Ethiopian hills around AD 1000 and immediately became all the rage. First in the Islamic world, then Europe. For 10 points, name this beverage obtained from the Arabica bean.
Freedom McSwain.
Coffee.
Coffee, that's correct. 25-point bonus. Identify this Old Testament book after one clue for 25 points or after two clues for 10 points. Number one, it's the only book not found among the Dead Sea Scrolls and is the only one that does not mention God.
Proverbs?
No, that's incorrect, but here's your second clue. You get 10 for this. The Feast of Purim commemorates the chief event in this book, which is named for a queen.
Esther?
Esther, that's correct. That's 10 points. Okay, playing for 20-point bonus teams. The some 2,800 species of this class of arthropod have anywhere from 28 to 354 legs, meaning that at least some have 100 legs.
Freedom orders.
Centipede? Centipedes, that's right. 20-point bonus, Freedom. As measured from the center of the Earth, our planet's highest mountain is not Everest, but Chimborazo, which sticks out farther because it is on the Earth's equatorial bulge. Chimborazo is in, for 20 points, what country, which is itself named for the equator?
Ecuador?
Ecuador, that's right. Okay, another 20-point bonus teams. Comedian Woody Allen said of this NBA star, he's so thin, the 76ers don't take him on the road.
Freedom McSwain.
Manute Bol.
Manute Bol. So they just fax him from town to town. 20-point bonus. The new laboratory technique of polymerase chain reaction has instituted a whole new science called molecular paleontology. This new technique in science allows scientists to obtain and analyze, for 20 points, what key molecule from long-dead life forms?
DNA?
DNA, that's right. 30-point bonus teams. Poignant moments are ones that give you a lump in your throat. Get the lump out, and for 10 points...
Freedom McSwain.
P-O-I-G-N-A-N-T.
Spell poignant. Okay, 30-point bonus. Adolf Hitler founded Germany's Third Reich. For 10 points apiece, number one, what 10th century emperor founded the First Reich?
Otto?
Okay, Otto the First is what was here, but Otto, sure. Number two, what 19th century emperor and 19th century chancellor co-founded the Second Reich?
Bismarck. And Wilhelm.
You got them both. Okay, that's 30 points. 25-point bonus now, teams. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, or Georgia. For 10 points.
Freedom McSwain.
Georgia.
Which one does not border the Gulf of Mexico? It's Georgia. 25-point bonus. This composer was born in Venice in 1678 and would probably rank behind only Bach as important late Baroque composers. He was a violin virtuoso, and his most famous work is The Four Seasons. For 25 points, name him.
Vivaldi.
Vivaldi. Another 25-point bonus. The Manhattan District of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers had nothing to do with building bridges or dams, at least during World War II. That was the full code name.
Freedom McSwain.
The atomic bomb.
Atomic bomb. Project to build it. 25-point bonus. You have seen them at least every 4 years, the rings on the Olympic flags. But how well do you remember them? You'll earn 5 points apiece for naming the 5 colors of those rings.
Red, yellow, blue, green, and black.
Got them all. Okay, 20-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. This company's private zip code of 00401 is the lowest in the U.S. Postal Service. For 10 points, name this company in Pleasantville, New York, with appropriate...
Freedom McSwain.
Reader's Digest.
Reader's Digest, the most condensed zip code. 20-point bonus. The Senate Judiciary hearings on Clarence Thomas were held in the same room that 40 years earlier was the site, for 20 points, of which Wisconsin senator's hearings on the alleged infiltration of communism into United States politics.
Joe McCarthy.
That's right, Joseph McCarthy. Got a 30-point bonus, teams. In late 1990, thousands of Soviet Jews suddenly began emigrating to this nation.
Richmond Jones.
Israel.
No, that is incorrect. I'll repeat it for you. Freedom. Began immigrating to this nation whose Jewish population was only 25,000, down from over 500,000 in 1933. For 10 points, name this now reunited NATO nation.
Freedom Deaton.
Germany.
Germany is correct. 30-point bonus. You're reading the basketball box scores in the newspaper. For 10 points apiece, tell me what the following column abbreviations stand for. Number 1, FTA.
Free throws attempted.
Number 2, OR.
Offensive rebounds.
And number 3, FGM.
Field goals made.
Got them all 3. 20-point bonus, teams. He composed some 1,000 musical pieces, including I'm Just Wild About Harry. For 10 points, name this prolific African-American song and dance man, nicknamed Eubie, famous for co-authoring 1921's Shuffle Along.
Richmond Lowe.
Al Jolson.
No, that is incorrect. Can you take it, Freedom?
Freedom McSwain.
Pat Waller.
No, it's Eubie Blake. James Hubert Eubie Blake. Still playing for that 20-point bonus. Colorado, the Centennial State, entered the Union in 1876. For 10 points within 5 years, what was the first year in which it was possible to travel from the East Coast to the West Coast without ever leaving a U.S. state, not a territory?
Freedom McSwain.
1869.
No. Can you take it, Richmond?
Richmond Jones.
1912.
No, it was 1890, so the spread would have been 1885 to 1895. Okay, still playing for that 20-point bonus. Both Chris Goodrich's 1991 book, Anarchy and Elegance, and John Hausman's final TV series, The Paper Chase, dealt with life, for 10 points, at what type of professional school?
Freedom McSwain.
Law school.
Law school, that's correct. 20-point bonus. Her books of poetry include Once and Revolutionary Petunias, but she may be better known for her novels, including Meridian. For 20 points, identify this African-American writer who is best known for The Color Purple.
Alice Walker.
That's right. Got another 20-point bonus. Unlike other big cats, it has short teeth, unretractable claws.
Richmond Jones.
Cheetah.
Cheetah, that's correct. Okay, it's a 20-point bonus, Richmond. It became independent in 1921, but the U.S. didn't recognize it until 1987 and didn't send an ambassador. Well, I was in the process of asking, so I have to stop at that point. And our first half score, Freedom 310 and Richmond 5. Well, I won't try to kid you about the disparity in score, but I will mention if you have seen these matches in the past, you know how things can change rather dramatically often in the second half, and that may well occur. Competition of this type can be tough, but competition of this type certainly brings out the best in the students who take part in it, and as you can tell, obviously, from seeing these young people here today, they are a most impressive bunch. I know it's been just a fairly short time since you were here for your quarterfinal match, but I'd like to ask the teams to once again, for those viewers who maybe have not seen them earlier, to tell what class you're in, what you're planning to do in school, and where you're planning to go to college, if you've made a choice already. And Elizabeth, I'll begin with you.
I'm a senior, and I'm going to the University of Georgia to major in wildlife science.
Okay. Well, I know you're going to do well there, and they're lucky to get you. Jen?
I'm a junior, and I want to either go to Chapel Hill or Duke, and I really don't know what I want to major in.
Okay. Anything particular in school that really strikes your fancy at this point? Any subject matter that you most prefer?
Not really. Science, maybe. I don't know.
Well, you got plenty of time. Justin?
I'm a junior, and I'm not sure what school I want to go to, but I'd like to go into engineering, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you'll do well. Jason?
I'm a sophomore. I'd like to attend the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York.
Right. For the folks who maybe saw the quarterfinal round, I asked at that point about when you find out about that. I know it's a good long way away before you really know if that occurs, but they'll be lucky to get you. Thank you all from Richmond. And the team from Freedom, very impressive again, and as I mentioned earlier, they are the defending champs for Haiku for this year, and I'd like to have the same process with them, beginning with Jason Deaton.
I'm a senior, and I hope to attend either Davidson or Wofford, major in engineering or physics.
Okay, thank you. Jeremy?
I'm a senior, and I'll be attending Wake Forest to study radio, TV, and film.
Okay. Kevin?
I've narrowed it down to 3 colleges and 3 fields. Either State, UNC Greensboro, or Wake Forest, to either be a teacher, politics, or radio or television.
Mm-hmm. Well, much good luck in your final decision-making. And Jason, orders.
I'd like to go to either Chapel Hill, Duke, or Davidson, and possibly major in pharmacy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck to all of you. You're going to do very well wherever you do wind up. And again, the schools will be most fortunate to have you as students. Well, second half coming up of our match. We're about ready to begin it right now. Let me remind you as a viewer that if, just as indeed happened at the end of the first half, if I am asking a question when the final whistle blows, we stop right then. If a student is answering a question, then that one answer will be completed. Okay, teams, we're ready to go with the second half. Good luck to you. Playing for a 20-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. In this situation, you're either a contestant on one of America's most popular game shows,
Freedom at McSwain,
Double Jeopardy.
Double Jeopardy, or you're being tried twice in the same jurisdiction for the same crime. 20-point bonus, Freedom. It has more protein, calcium, phosphorus, iron, and vitamins A and C than spinach. Its Latin name means official remedy because it has long been used for what ails you. For 20 points, name this weed, once poetically praised as gold buttons sewn upon the lawn.
Kale.
Dandelions. Dandelions we were looking for. Okay, 30-point bonus, teams. More of its land is now earmarked for recreation than agriculture, and 1% of its forests have recently been cut down to build golf courses. For 10 points, name this Asian nation where golf club memberships sell for up to $1 million.
Freedom, Deaton.
Japan.
Dollars, Japan. 30-point bonus, Freedom. Identify this person after 1 clue for 30 points, after 2 for 20, or after 3 for 10. Number 1, she has been an actress for 25 of her 28 years.
Oh, Linda Blair.
No, but here's the second clue. You can get 20. Her 1989 Oscar was for her role in The Accused.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster. Okay? 30-point bonus, teams, saying, I'm going to stay in show business until I'm the only one left. He celebrated his 95th...
Freedom, Deaton.
George Burns.
George Burns. 95th birthday in 1991. 30-point bonus. New Zealand is in the South Seas, while its namesake, Old Zealand, is on the North Sea. For 15 points apiece. Number 1, what nation was once called Zealand?
Scotland.
No, it's Holland, or the Netherlands. Number 2, what other nation, not far from New Zealand, was once called New Holland?
Australia.
That's right, Australia. Okay, 25-point bonus. Its Spanish name means pelican because of the many such birds inhabiting this island in San Francisco Bay. The pelicans...
Richmond, Jones.
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz. They can fly away, but only one human has ever escaped. 25-point bonus, Richmond. Get your pencil and paper ready for some astrological arithmetic. Take the number of degrees in each sign of the zodiac and subtract the number of signs in the zodiac. For 25 points, what is the number?
$18.
18 is correct. 25 points. 30-point bonus, teams. He was a painter by profession, but it's his writings and drawings he's most famous for.
Richmond, Jones.
Da Vinci.
No, that's not what we were looking for. I'll finish it for you, Freedom. He's most famous for his drawings and writings, especially The Owl and the Pussycat. For 10 points, name this first writer to popularize the limerick.
Freedom McSwain.
Ogden Nash.
No, it's Edward Lear. Edward Lear. Still playing for that 30-point bonus. Here's your toss-up. Researchers have now begun to tie this disease to a defect on the 21st chromosome.
Richmond Jones.
Down syndrome.
No, that's not what we're looking for. Freedom? The 21st chromosome, which causes a protein to produce a chemical which in turn destroys brain cells. For 10 points, name this disease of the elderly.
Freedom Orders.
Alzheimer's disease.
Alzheimer's, that's right. 30-point bonus. By coincidence, some of our unmanned space missions have shared their names with sports teams. For 15 points apiece, name the two groups of missions to the Moon, Venus, Mercury, and Mars that share their names with two American League West baseball teams.
Mariners and Twins.
You got one, Mariners and Rangers. Rangers were the other. Okay, 30-point bonus this time, teams. During wartime, the U.S. Coast Guard operates as part of the U.S. Navy. Otherwise, it is...
Richmond Jones.
Department of Transportation.
That's right. Which department? Department of Transportation. 30-point bonus. 3 U.S. states are now home to at least 100,000 active-duty military personnel. For 10 points apiece, name these 3 states.
California, Texas, and North Carolina.
You got 2 out of 3. The other was Virginia. California, Texas, and Virginia. Okay, 20-point bonus. Here you go for your toss-up. To get a jump on the job market, you've already started reading the classified ads. For 10 points, what letter, after the numbers, signifies what your yearly salary in thousands will be?
Richmond Jones.
K.
K is correct. K, 20-point bonus. An influential literary work of the early Italian Renaissance was this collection of 100 stories written by Giovanni Boccaccio. For 20 points, name this 14th century work.
Collected writings.
It's called the Decameron. Decameron. Okay, 20-point bonus this time, teams. He ended his life as a popular temperance lecturer after having squandered the then record $1 million he earned during his career as a heavyweight champ. For 10 points, who was this last of the bare-knuckle world?
Freedom McSwain.
Jim Corbett.
No. Who was the last of the bare-knuckle world champions? Richmond, can you take it?
Richmond Jones.
Dempsey.
No, it was John L. Sullivan. John L. Sullivan was the answer there. Still playing for that 20-point bonus. At various times, suicide rates, the number of stolen bases in baseball, and the length of women's skirts have all been attributed to the 11-year cycles. For 10 points.
Freedom McSwain.
Sunspots.
Sunspots. What astronomical phenomenon. 20-point bonus. You think you have rough first days at work? Well, this man became the U.S. Army Chief of Staff on September 1st, 1939, the same day that World War II began. For 20 points, who was this general and future Secretary of State?
Marshall.
That's right, George Marshall. 20-point bonus, teams. There are 8 major cities named for him in Yugoslavia, and all 8.
Richmond Jones.
Tito.
Tito, that's correct. 20-point bonus. The ancient Olympic Games were held at the town of Olympia. The Pythian Games, ancient Greece's second most famous athletic event, were held, for 20 points, at what historic and oracular site on the slopes of Mount Parnassus?
Delphi.
That's right, you got it. Okay, got another 20-point bonus, teams. It is the general name for any of a composer's musical works, as well as the name of the flightless waterfowl in the comic strips Bloom County and
Freedom McSwain.
Opus.
Opus and Outland. 20-point bonus. Archaeologists agree it was the first domesticated grain and was grown in Egypt 8,000 years ago. Until the 16th century, it was the principal grain used in Europe to make bread. For 20 points, identify this grain, now most widely used to make malt and beer.
Barley.
That's right. Okay, got a 30-point bonus, teams. Toss-up is this. This holiday was celebrated in Russia on January 7th, 1991, for the first time since 1917, because the Russian Orthodox Church remains on the Julian calendar.
Richmond Strickland.
New Year's.
No, that is incorrect. I'll finish it for you, Freedom. No, I won't. That is the final bell, signaling the end of this match. And our final score is Freedom 455 and Richmond 95. So congratulations to the team from Freedom. We will see you in the finals next week here on WTVI. And to Richmond, congratulations on getting this far. You are very, very good competitors, and we'll hope to see you next year right back here at Channel 42 again. Well, we hope you will stay with us for a few more seconds. We'll wrap it up in just a bit, but first of all, this important word from Davidson College. Well, next week we will have the championship round. We will determine who the brand new High-Q champion is for this year. We hope you'll be with us Friday at 6, Saturday at 10, the time for the championship match between Myers Park High School and Freedom High School. It's going to be exciting. We hope you'll be with us. See you then.
Major funding for High-Q has been provided by IBM in promotion and recognition of IBM.
When more than 350 students arrived on the Davidson College campus as teams from 64 high schools began competition to become the 1992 High-Q champion. WTVI, Charlotte-Mecklenburg's public television station, in cooperation with Davidson College and IBM, proudly presents High-Q, the annual battle of the minds. This year's High-Q winning team and the first runner-up will receive for their schools an IBM Personal System 2 Model 8530 computer with a printer and software donated by IBM. Again this year, the winning team will be given the handsome High-Q trophy, which they can proudly display in their school's trophy case.
Today's final match features Myers Park High School against Freedom High School. And now, here's your host, Mike McKay.
Thank you very much, and good evening to you. Hope you're ready for an exciting match, because it's going to be that. It's been a really full 3 months plus since January 18th, when it all began here for 1992, and this is the wrap-up night. Going to be a very exciting match. Obviously, to have that, we've got to have two good teams, and we have the best. These are the two that are left in this year's competition. Let's meet them right now. First of all, the team from Myers Park High School.
Walter Partain, senior.
Michael Simon, senior.
Peter Singer, junior.
Scott McNeil, senior.
Gentlemen, welcome. Good to have you here on the championship night, and much good luck in the match. And in order to prepare this team, we have a coach who's very much a veteran of this competition, too. You seem to meet him here each year, Van Smalley from Myers Park. Van, good to see you again.
On behalf of Myers Park High School, I'd like to thank all the sponsors of High-Q, and I'd like to especially thank the team members for all their hard work and dedication this year, and tell them how proud of them I am now. Also, two other members of our team are Joe Yandel and Daniel Vandergriff.
Good to have you all here. Good luck in the match.
Thank you.
Okay. Van Smalley again, and the alternate members. And the team that is here tonight is going to provide tremendous competition because they are the defending champions of High-Q. Let's welcome the team from Freedom High School.
Jason Deaton, senior.
Jeremy Lamano, senior.
Kevin McSwain, senior.
Jason Orders, senior.
Gentlemen, good to have you here too, and good luck in the competition. I know it's going to be an exciting one, and in part they are so prepared for tonight because they have good coaching too. Let's meet the coaches from Freedom, Linda Wall and John Whittemore. Good to welcome you back again.
Glad to be back, Mike. And I'd like to thank our sponsors also, and thank our team because they are the defending champs, and they knew what they had to do to come back, and they did it.
Well, much good luck in your match. Yes, Linda?
And I'd like to say that I'm proud of them, and I'll miss them next year.
I know they feel the same toward you. Thanks a lot, and good luck in the competition. And that competition begins in just a short time, but we're going to pause right now for a small message. We'll be back on the other side. Stay with us.
Education. It affects all of us.
Sure, it's important to the economy.
You're going to end up hiring one of these children.
You need an education to get through life, period. I remember trying so hard to listen to what everybody was telling me, and I wanted to do it right. I really did. So many kids get lost.
You have to ask yourself, how much are our children worth to us?
Right now, IBM is working with school systems across America. We're donating equipment. IBM's people are volunteering their time to tutor students. And above all, we're creating new ways for computers to help teachers teach and better prepare young people for the world they're about to inherit.
The kids need to hear that we care about them.
Well, you know, I say, how was school? Did you have fun at school today? She says, oh, yeah.
I love the ocean, and I want to especially study dolphins.
I'm not without hope.
And on behalf of everyone connected with HiQ, our thanks to IBM for being our corporate sponsor again this year. They, Davidson College, and WTVI, the fine station which does the production here each year, do a tremendous job, and we're very happy that they're all involved. Hopefully they will be next year, too. And we want to say welcome to you. If this is the first match you've seen this year, you've chosen a good time to tune in because, again, this is the championship. I want to run down the rules. This is primarily for your benefit. The teams know them very well, but here's a brief recap. There are two types of questions we use. There are toss-ups and bonuses. You can work individually. You may not consult on a toss-up question. Have to wait to be recognized before answering, but must answer within 3 seconds after being recognized. If you're correct, you win for your team the right to answer a bonus question. If you're incorrect and have interrupted the question, there's a 5-point penalty. There is no penalty if I have finished reading. If you're incorrect, the other team gets a chance to answer, and I'll finish reading the question if it's been interrupted. On bonus questions, of course, you work as a team. You may and should consult with each other. You'll have 5 seconds to begin your answer to each part of a bonus question. I'll warn you before calling time. If a half ends while I am asking a question, as you know, we stop right there. If it happens while you're answering a question, you may complete that one answer only. The judge's decision will be final today. I want you to meet the judge and some other good folks from Davidson College who are making this match possible by donating their time and their efforts. First of all, gentlemen, you heard at the top of the program, our announcer, Arjun Srinivasan. Good to see you again, Arjun. Gentleman who will be the judge, I can feel that weight of responsibility on his shoulders now, but he's bearing up very well, as you can see. Dr. Bob Manning from Davidson. Bob, good to see you as always. Our scorer is Bill Pomeroy. Bill, good to see you. And finally, last but hardly least, our timer, Mr. Greg Fisher, all from Davidson College. Give about a hand for these 4 fine individuals. All right, teams, if you are set, so are we. Let's begin the first half, and good luck to you. When I hear that whistle, we begin. Playing for a 20-point bonus to begin. Here is your toss-up. It is about 200 miles long, between 4 and 18 miles wide, and about 1 mile deep. For 10 points, name this Colorado River...
Freedom, explained.
The Grand Canyon?
Gorge. The Grand Canyon, that's right. Okay, 20-point bonus, Freedom. His most famous research was on the topic of conditioned reflex, including his experiment in which dogs salivated at the sound of a bell because they had learned to expect food when the bell rang. For 20 points, identify this Russian psychologist.
Pavlov.
Pavlov. Ivan Pavlov. Okay, teams, playing for a 30-point bonus this time. Here's toss-up. It is the number of sisters in the title of an Anton Chekhov.
Freedom, explained.
3.
3. That's what we were looking for. Okay, 30-point bonus. If college is on your mind, you'll do well on this bonus. For 10 points apiece, identify the states where the following universities are located. Number 1, Brown. The answer.
Rhode Island.
That's correct. Number 2, Rice.
Texas.
That's right. And number 3, Auburn.
Alabama.
Okay, you got your 30 points. Playing for another 30-point bonus, teams. Because Lenin loved chess, what was the USSR is now the leading power in that game. Well, because Chairman Mao loved this game, China is now the leading power in it.
Myers Park, Singer.
Table tennis?
Table tennis, or ping pong, that's right. 30-point bonus, Myers Park, for 15 points apiece. Answer these questions about our current Supreme Court justices. Number 1, who is the only one sworn in the 1960s by President Kennedy? Okay, need an answer.
Blackman.
No, that is incorrect, but you can get 15 with this. Who, at 81 years old, is the oldest and the only one sworn in by President Nixon?
John Paul Stevens.
No, the first answer was Byron White. He was the one sworn in by Kennedy, and the one sworn in by Nixon was Blackman, Harry Blackman. Okay, playing for another 30-point bonus, teams. For 10 points, what's the term for plants that require 2 seasons of growth to produce flowers and ripen seeds?
Myers Park, McNeil.
Diurnal.
No, that is incorrect. Can you take it, Freedom?
Freedom, orders.
Biannual.
No, that's incorrect, too. It's close. It's biennials. Biennials we were looking for. 30-point bonus, still playing for. He apparently looked nothing like his conventional portraits, all painted well after his death in 1506. For 10 points, who was this Genoese explorer?
Myers Park, Salmon.
Columbus.
Columbus, that we'll hear a lot about through 1992. Okay, 30-point bonus, Myers Park. Identify this performer after only 1 clue for 30 points, after 2 for 20, or after 3 for 10. Number 1, a Saturday morning cartoon based on him premiered on ABC in September 1991.
Hammer.
Hammer is correct. Got you 30 points. Okay, for 20-point bonus, teams. Because it is a member of the usually deadly nightshade family, it was long thought to be poisonous and wasn't eaten in...
Freedom, McSwain.
Tomatoes?
Tomatoes, that's correct. Wasn't eaten until the 1820s. Okay, 20-point bonus, Freedom. His 1,408-page 1991 book, Harlot's Ghost, is one of the longest novels of the past 25 years and is fully 687 pages longer than his previously longest novel, The Naked and the Dead. For 20 points, name him.
Norman Mailer?
That's correct. Got another 20-point bonus for you. According to the title of a 1770 portrait, for 10 points, what color is the boy...
Myers Park, Singer.
Blue.
Blue, that Thomas Gainsborough painted. That's right. 20-point bonus. Listen carefully to this list of 5 fruits. Strawberries, blackberries, oranges, apples, and bananas. For 10 points apiece, which 2 are botanically classified as berries? Okay, need an answer.
Apple and strawberry.
No, it's oranges and bananas. Oranges and bananas. Okay, another 20-point bonus coming up. Your toss-up is this for a quick 10 points. With which sport are the names Tom Watson, Bob?
Freedom, McSwain.
Golf.
Golf. Bob Sway and Greg Norman associated. Okay, 20-point bonus. Archduke Francis Ferdinand was assassinated on June 28th, starting World War I, which ended with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, also on June 28th. For 20 points, how many years apart were these 2 events?
5.
That's right, 1914 and 1919. Got another 20-point bonus. He wrote, quote, when I was 14, I thought my father was an idiot.
Myers Park, Salmon.
Twain.
Mark Twain, that's right. 20-point bonus. In a move that's been compared to Placido Domingo giving up opera for rap, this Canadian has given up 5 Little Ducks and Baa Baa Black Sheep for It's Raining Like Music, Everything Grows, and similar ecology ballads. For 20 points, name this former performer for children. Need an answer.
John Denver.
No, Raffi, R-A-F-F-I. Okay, 20-point bonus again, teams. This orchestral work was written about 70 years after the year in its title. For 10...
Myers Park, Partain.
1812 Overture.
That's right. That's what we were looking for. 20-point bonus. What we call gasoline, the British call petrol. What the British call paraffin, we know, for 20 points, as what other distillate of petroleum often used in old-style lamps?
Kerosene.
Need an answer.
Wax.
Kerosene. Okay, 20-point bonus we're trying for. Here is your toss-up. It is the only place where the United States flag stays at full staff.
Freedom, McSwain.
The moon. The moon, 24 hours a day. You got it. 20-point bonus. When Orel Hershiser set the all-time Major League record by pitching 59 consecutive shutout innings, he broke the record of an athlete who played for the same team, though years earlier. Another Hall of Famer who witnessed Hershiser's accomplishments as a broadcast commentator. For 10 points apiece, number one, name the Hall of Famer.
Sandy Koufax.
No, that's incorrect. It's Don Drysdale. But you can get 10 for this. Name the common team.
The Dodgers.
That's right. Okay, 20-point bonus again, teams. For a quick 10 points, who's the host of TV's Soul Train?
Freedom, McSwain.
Don Cornelius.
That's right. Don Cornelius it is. 20-point bonus. Helios, Sol, and Apollo were all Greek or Roman gods, for 20 points, of what celestial object, mostly hydrogen and helium?
The sun.
The sun. That's it. Another 20-point bonus, teams. Here's toss-up. This three-word legal term applies to natural catastrophes or circumstances.
Freedom, McSwain.
Act of God.
Act of God. Circumstances beyond the control of the people involved. 20-point bonus. It declared itself an independent republic in 1777, was threatened by George Washington with a military invasion in 1783, and finally agreed to join the Union in 1791 as the 14th state. For 20 points, what state?
Vermont.
Vermont, that's correct. 30-point bonus again, teams. North America comes closest to Asia. All right, we stop at that point because I was just about to ask that question. And our score. Well, at halftime, we have Freedom with 210 and Myers Park with 80. Bit of a gap between the two, obviously, but if you have watched these matches in the past, you know how things can change in the second half, so make sure to stay tuned for that. We're going to pause right now to take you back a little bit in history. As you heard at the beginning of the program, this all began on January 18th to get us to this championship night tonight, and here is a little bit of a, kind of a compilation of what's happened in the meantime. Take a look at this.
This year, 64 high school teams from 20 counties met on the campus of Davidson College for the preliminary competition of the High Q Championship. Some of the teams began practicing last September, trying to find their best combination of students with the quickest recall and a broad knowledge of music, geography, history, literature, art, science, math, sports, and current events. On Super Saturday, the 64 teams were questioned in individual classrooms with volunteers from IBM and Davidson College acting as moderators. Each team was asked the same set of questions plus earned bonuses. The top 16 teams advanced into head-to-head single elimination play. Tonight, we have only two teams still battling for the honor of being the 1992 High Q champion. WTVI, Davidson College, and IBM are proud to be a part of this year's High Q.
And we're proud and happy you decided to join us by watching the championship match tonight. There is one half yet to go, and let me remind you, because the players are well aware of this, as happened at the end of the first half, if at the end of the game the final whistle blows and I'm in the midst of asking a question, we stop right there. If one of the contestants is answering a question, he may complete that one answer only. Okay, we're ready for the second half. Gentlemen, good luck, and when I hear the whistle, we will begin. Playing for a 30-point bonus this time, here's your toss-up. The first prototype was finished on April 17th, 1792. 8 days later, it was successfully used on one Nicholas...
Freedom, McSwain.
Hot air balloon.
No, I'm going to repeat it for you, Myers Park. The first prototype was finished on April 17th, 1792. 8 days later, it was successfully used on one Nicholas Pelletier, a convicted robber. For 10 points, keep your head and name this machine.
Myers Park, Singer.
Guillotine.
Guillotine, that's right. Okay, it's a 30-point bonus, Myers Park. Adding an extra oxygen atom to a molecule of water or a molecule of oxygen gas greatly changes their properties. For 15 points apiece, what are the names for number one, H2O2?
Peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide.
That's correct. And number two, O3.
Ozone.
Got them both. Okay, teams playing for a 20-point bonus. I won't be able to ask this, and you won't be able to answer this posthumously, so I'll ask you now. For 10 points, spell...
Myers Park, Salmon.
Posthum Ously.
You got it. Posthumously. 20-point bonus. For 5 points apiece, what are the 4 French words often abbreviated on formal invitations as RSVPs?
I see him.
Go.
Respondez s'il vous plaît.
You got it. Okay. Playing for a 25-point bonus this time, teams. It prefers to ignore its #1 FBI rating in terms of overall crimes and concentrate instead on its hosting the 1994 Super Bowl.
Freedom McSwain.
Louisiana.
No, that's incorrect. I'll repeat it for you, Myers Park. It prefers to ignore its #1 FBI rating in terms of overall crime and concentrate instead on its hosting the 1994 Super Bowl and the 1996 Summer Olympics. For 10 points, name this southern...
Myers Park, singer.
Atlanta, Georgia.
That's right. Southern City. 25-point bonus. Identify this writer after 1 clue for 25 points or after 2 clues for 10 points. Number 1. His first novel, King Rat, was based on his experience as a British prisoner of war in Japanese prison camps.
Michener.
It's incorrect, but you can get 10 by getting it here. He also wrote Taipan, Shogun, and Noble House.
Clavel.
Clavel. Okay, got your 10 points. Teams, it's a 20-point bonus. Colorado and Wyoming are 4-sided states, but another state is 6-sided. For 10 points, name...
Myers Park, Salmon.
Utah.
Utah. That's right. 20-point bonus. These 2 Ohio cities started out as forts in the Old Northwest. For 10 points apiece, what's the current name of #1, Fort Washington in the southwest corner of the state?
Cleveland.
No, that's incorrect. It's Cincinnati. Number 2, Fort Miami in the northwest corner of the state.
Cleveland.
Toledo. Okay, playing for a 30-point bonus this time, teams. His final military rank was only lieutenant colonel, but he is invariably called general because of his temporary Civil War rank of brigadier general.
Myers Park, singer.
Custer.
Custer. Yep. 30 points. I'll name a famous composer-lyricist team. For 10 points apiece, you've identified the composer. Number 1, Gilbert and Sullivan. Need an answer?
Sullivan.
Sullivan is correct. Number 2, Rogers and Hammerstein.
Which one? Hammerstein.
No, it was Rogers. Number 3, Lerner and Lowe.
Lowe.
Lowe is correct.
All right.
Okay, team, 20-point bonus. It got its commercial name because it was first obtained from the ornamental shrub Spirea. For 10 points, name this ubiquitous product whose active ingredient is acetylsalicylic acid.
Freedom McSwain.
NutraSweet.
No, that is incorrect. Can you take it? The product whose active ingredient is acetylsalicylic acid.
Myers Park, McNeil.
Aspirin.
Aspirin is correct. 20-point bonus. She was locally known by an African word meaning the old lady who lives in the forest without a man. For 20 points. Who was this American expert on gorillas who lived on a mountain in Rwanda and was portrayed by Sigourney Weaver in 1988's Gorillas in the Mist?
Goodall.
That's incorrect. It's Diane Fossey. Diane Fossey we were looking for. Okay, teams, it's a 30-point bonus this time. As Ellen Coldfield is to Thomas Sutpen in Absalom, Absalom, Barbara is to Rusty Savage in Presumed Innocent. For 10 points. What relationship?
Freedom McSwain.
Wife.
That's correct. They're married. Looking for a wife. 30-point bonus. Although Holland requires no prior article, the Netherlands does. 3 other nations, 2 in Africa and 1 in the Caribbean, are also officially named the, plus some proper noun. For 10 points apiece, name these 3 nations.
The Ivory Coast, the Bahamas, and Seychelles. The Seychelles.
Actually, it is the Sudan, the Gambia, and the Bahamas. So you got Bahamas correct. Okay, 20-point bonus. Insurance companies use these tables of figures to set their rates.
Myers Park, McNeil.
Actuarial.
Actuarial tables. 20-point bonus. At 25, he was the youngest bank president in the country. In 1934, he was the first chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and later served as U.S. ambassador to England. For 20 points, who is this New England businessman and political patriarch?
Who was the guy that was Joe Kennedy.
Kennedy. Joseph Kennedy.
Is that enough? Joseph Kennedy. Okay.
All right.
Well, really 20-point bonus this time. It was incorporated in 1946 as the Tokyo Telecommunications Engineering Corporation. But in 1958, it chose a less cumbersome name.
Freedom McSwain.
Sony.
Sony. That's right. What we were looking for. 20-point bonus, Freedom. He was the Thane of Fife who remained loyal to the royal family after Macbeth murdered King Duncan. For 20 points, name this slayer of Macbeth in Shakespeare's play.
Macduff.
Macduff is correct. 20-point bonus this time. Baseball Hall of Famers Harmon Killebrew, Willie McCovey, and Lou Gehrig all played the same position.
Myers Park, McNeil.
Center field.
It's incorrect. Freedom, can you take it? They all played the same position.
First base.
First base. Okay. 20-point bonus. Listen carefully. The Costa Blanca, Costa Brava, Costa Gabras, Costa Rica, and the Costa del Sol. For 10 points apiece, which two are not touristy stretches along Spain's Mediterranean coast?
Costa Rica and Costa Grava.
You got him. Okay, Costa Gabras is a film director. Costa Rica, of course, is a country. Okay, got to get into the extras because this game's been going quickly. Here we go. Got a 30-point bonus. For 10 points, name the Washington, D.C. structure that received its current name because of the paint job that covered up the...
Freedom McSwain.
The White House.
White House. 1814 burn marks. 30-point bonus. In 1520, the ruler of the Aztec Empire... All right, well, I was asking, so we stop right at that point, and that's the end of our championship match, and our final score is Freedom 290, Myers Park 245. A very tight and very exciting match. Congratulations to Freedom and to Myers Park for doing such a great job. We're going to pause for this word from Davidson College, be back on the other side, and make the award presentation. Stay with us. Well, as I mentioned earlier, everybody connected with HiQ is very grateful to Davidson College, to WTVI, and especially to our corporate sponsor, IBM. And we have Maureen Blackwell with us now from IBM, and good to have you here to begin. An exciting match, wasn't it?
Very exciting match. Thanks to the school for a great evening's entertainment. We know it was a hard-fought battle.
Let me ask just very quickly, why does IBM choose to be involved from year to year?
Well, I think we can't say enough about the importance of competition in business, and I think with young adults like this getting ready to enter colleges and the workplace, I think our country's in good hands.
I agree. Well, if I may impose upon you, how about grabbing that trophy and taking it over to Freedom, if you would, please? And I'd like for you to meet now a gentleman who is vitally involved each year with this effort, and also Davidson College, by the way, is a team that has a great College Bowl team, a competition on that level. Dr. Robert Williams, who's Dean of the Faculty at Davidson, and always a pleasure to have you here with us again, and obviously your school is very committed to this competition also.
We're just delighted to be able to sponsor it, and we wish all of the students well in their higher education after completing high school.
One of the interesting things to see, too, that we have seen in the competition in years past is that some of the high school competitors wind up at Davidson College, like some of the guys over there at the scoring table. They're veterans of this kind of competition, too. You get some of your best students from these teams, don't you?
Sure, and we can use all that we can get.
Okay, that's a pitch for those of you who have not committed at this point. Well, thanks to you for coming. Good to see you again. And again, on behalf of everyone involved, our thanks to IBM, to Davidson, and to the great people at WTVI who do such a good job of making the television part work from year to year. Thanks for joining us for the championship match. We hope to see you next year right here on WTVI for HiQ for 93. Bye-bye.